Oh, okay. Baka's got it. Thank you, Baka. I think engineering and security is is by far the biggest group in Discord for some reason. Logistics? It depends on what you mean by logistics. If you mean mining logistics, or do you mean distribution? Because mining would probably be science. Production. Engineering. Engineering and distribution, yeah. Or, like, construction and distribution would be engineering. Mining is a combination of science and engineering, though. So you would have both in mining as well. The science people would be in charge of finding the ore, and the engineers would be in charge of collecting it. $20 under. Nice. Let's take a look at my sponsor things. Hey, I completed them all in a single round. Nice. I've had a lot of people join Discord. I should post that spiel I do in Discord every once in a while about joining one of those groups. Because it's on the little welcome page, but a lot of people don't read that. Oh hey, thanks Baka. She also sent me a link to the Tokyo Olympics opening ceremony. Awesome. Exactly what I was looking for. Here we go. Copy. Oh, last time I posted that was in September of last year. Jeez. There we go. Boop. Perfect. This ain't Eve. Hey, what's up, Cheesy? No, sir, it's not. This is PGA Tour 2K21. I play to golfs, and I knock on my balls around a little bit. $22 under par. Nice. Could I drive this? Probably could. Let's drive that. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a tree there. Let's aim here instead. Hey, that's perfect. Oh. That's okay. I tried to tell everybody that followed when I was playing Eve that I was a variety streamer, not an Eve streamer. So, like, I'm into Eve right now, so I'll stream a lot of Eve, but that's not all I'm going to stream. Even trucks? No. No. Golf. Next week I'm going to play Final Fantasy. Starting on Wednesday, because that's when it comes out. And I cannot wait. Not Final Fantasy 14, Final Fantasy 1. Sorry, didn't mean to get your hopes up there. Oh, that was close. Never went from a smile to a frown so fast in your life? Sorry. You're all like, yeah! Oh. Like, look, he hit it in the air. Oh, he hit it into the bunker! I heard the people go, oh, at the end. Is it Final Fantasy 1 through 3 the same thing story-wise? I don't know, I've only ever played 1 before. I didn't play 2 or 3. I've played 1, 4, 6, 10, 10-2, and 12. And that's it. I want to play 16 when it comes out. Because 16 looks stupid good. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Seems like a dick move. Cappy and I were just talking about what happened. Somebody was sending like their 13 or 14-year-old kid around trying to convince people to join their church. And it's like, bro, why are you sending your little kid, man?
Sounded like...
He sounded extremely nervous.
He sounded real timid, real nervous. Like he really didn't want to be there.
Well, he's probably gotten yelled at a few times.
It sucks. Like a nice kid.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice kid. I wasn't mean, I was just like, no thank you, go away.
He just said don't get inside of my room.
Oh my god! Okay.
Die.
No, I almost... Did I die? Yes, my golfer died, he had a stroke.
Yeah, that was more of the joke.
Aren't they making X3? There's rumors about it, but I haven't seen any like confirmation. The only thing I heard about it was that the guy who wrote the story for 10 and 10-2 said that there's a story for 10-3. That's all I've heard. So we'll see what happens there. You only played X about halfway? X was really good. It's probably my second favorite Final Fantasy I've played so far. English is hard, bro, I know. I speak it too, man. Oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't so much mind the guns thing, but I didn't like the thing that didn't work for me is I didn't like the fact that the way you changed your abilities in 10.2 was changing what dresses your characters were wearing, and the fact that your characters were pop stars, and I was just like, this one was not made for me. This is not a title with me in mind. What, your abilities change depending on what your character is wearing in 14? Because that doesn't sound interesting at all. Your abilities change based on what class you have chosen, as well as clothing. Sounds like Godzilla versus Barbie. If there's no ventures on the market, you just screwed up for your mining ship. You can buy a blueprint for a venture, and then the ore required to build one and make your own venture. It's probably cheaper to do that anyway. And ventures don't take that long to build. They take like an hour, something. Yeah, are you in Jita? The market doesn't it depends on your skills. You have trading skills that increase your ability to see stuff and to sell stuff. But yeah, if you could just not have Jita listed if you're too far away. Still on the fence about whether or not you like the game. That's fair. It's not a game I'm going to be playing for, like... I'm going to be playing hardcore for a long time. Like, I'm just playing it a lot now because it's new, it's fresh, I like it a lot. But, you know, here shortly, I'm going to be mixing it up and just playing it like when I'm in between phone calls at work or whatever. And then, like, periodically I'll have an Eve night. But it'll probably just be like once or twice a week. You like to play the game alongside me? Yeah, okay. That's cute. I do consider mining playing. I was playing earlier and that's all I was doing was mining. I was mining and keeping an eye on the distribution contracts and stuff like that. Watching a YouTube video here or there. I haven't played Elite Dangerous. Maybe I should try that one of these days. That's a single player. It's essentially single player Eve, right? But I mean, that's part of the reason I'm also just playing Eve as an alpha. Because I'm like, I don't know that I really want to, like, put a lot of time and money into this game. I just want to have a little bit of fun periodically. So, I mean, for me, alpha's fine. That's probably all I'll ever do. Maybe every once in a while when I earn enough in-game cash, I'll pay for Omega in-game. It feels like once you get Omega, if you're doing distribution, keeping Omega by using in-game cash is not difficult. Because there are a lot of, like... Like 1 billion collateral job, but we'll pay you like 200 million for the delivery. And I'm like, God damn, okay, let's go. You like 5 of those a day, that's $1 billion you just made. And I think paying for Omega is like 1.2, 1.3 billion is all it costs in game. And if you're making like 200-300 million per delivery at a higher level, just make like 5 or 6 deliveries over a weekend and you're good. Man, look at that wind though, jeez. Okay. Lee taking a big hit with Odyssey. Fell under the same. Most games nowadays. What? Devs rushed it out and didn't listen to players. Oh, okay. So they released an expansion, and the expansion just kind of sucks compared to what the players had expected. I've noticed that with a lot of game devs is they'll listen to their players, and their players will complain, and they'll go, we're gonna address this in the next update, and then the next update comes out and they've addressed none of it. They just did whatever they wanted. And it's like, I get that the game is your vision, blah blah blah, but if it's a multiplayer game and you need to keep your players happy, you kind of need to do a little bit of what they want. Or at least show that you're working that direction. You know, obviously, if the players want, like, stuff that's going to break the game, you can't just give it to them outright. But you got to at least be like, okay, look, we're working on your concerns. Well, that went a lot further than I had expected. Oh, but this barely moves. Perfect. A little more and we're good. Nice. I guess Frontier is the company that's working on Elite. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think I'd get on the green, but at least I'm close. What is this? A pitch? We've got 2-yard carry. Oh, look how long I'm going to be in the air, though. Jeez. That's going to suck. Wind's going to affect me. Okay. Wasn't too bad. I've also, personally, I've never been huge on PvP, so, multiplayer games that have PvP situations, I try to avoid them as much as possible. And that's a significant portion of EVE, is PvP. So there's going to be a certain point where I just hit a wall and I'm like, and I think I'm done. Did I see the Dead Space on EA Play? Yeah. There was absolutely nothing there. I mean, it could be neat, but who knows? I hope they do a good job with it. But I know some people that are like losing their mind over it, and I'm like, there was nothing to see. Like, there was literally nothing there. I don't know what you're so excited about. Like, are you excited that there's a possibility of a new Dead Space? Awesome, great. But I mean, there's no gameplay. Did I play Dead Space 3? I haven't even played Dead Space 2 yet. I've only played the original. I played the original twice. Ouch. I mean, Dead Space 3 was prime EA screwing up all their video games. So, I've gotten mixed responses from Dead Space 3, but generally speaking, it all seems to lean towards don't do it. Vita didn't have one either. Well, low-level mining ships aren't exactly popular. Most people have higher-level ships now. Ask around in Corp Chat and see if anybody has a spare Venture. Slat in the wound? Yeah, man. Slat in the wound is terrible. Alright, smartass. Oh. You weren't thinking that at all? Such a liar. Somebody in the corp might have a spare one though. Somebody gave me a spare Tayra the other day when my Tayra was killed, so. Especially the higher level players who are, like, they don't really need a Venture. They've got something better. They've probably just got a Venture sitting around taking up space. That's a pitch. I'm gonna have to pull that back. Are you crazy? Thing's gonna run. You have a problem asking? Cool, let me boot up the game real quick and ask. I'll ask for you, I don't give a damn. Okay, perfect. Let's see if we get a response off of that. Are there any games I'm looking forward to? The Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I'm trying to think of other games. I want... I want the Assassin's Creed Valhalla final DLC so I can play through those 2 DLCs. What else is coming? I can't think of anything recent, like, coming out soon. Like, I'll play the new Mass Effect when it comes out, but it's just in development. That's at least 2 years away. Minimum. Are there any games on the horizon that I'm just not thinking of, maybe? That's a possibility. Eventually I'm going to play Andromeda again. I do want to play that a second time. Whoa, I saw the back of my eyes there. Planning on replaying Andromeda? Yeah. I want to go through the, what is that mod website? I can't think of it right now, but I want to go through that mod website and see what they've got. Get a couple of things that fix some of the big problems that people complain about. Cut up Sam, yeah. Nexus, thank you. There's also one, I think there's one that fixes some Asari faces, because like there's only 2 faces for Asari in the entire game. Which is horribly disappointing, because you're walking around... What's the main hub there called? I think it's just called the Nexus. As well. You're walking around the Nexus and like every Asari looks identical. Colorless Turians and Krogans. Yeah, I know there's some mods for that stuff. I don't want anything crazy like... This changes how certain classes work. I don't want anything like that. I just want stuff that fixes some of the annoyances. Can I do at all costs for Andromeda? I'd have to do a lot of research into it. I want to play it again with a relatively normal playthrough first. And then if I like it, I may do an at all costs research on that. But it took me like... It took me a couple of months of research to do at all costs for the original trilogy. Obviously, with one game, it won't take as long, but... You didn't watch my original playthrough? It's a good game. It has a lot of stuff going for it. It's definitely not perfect. But, like, the combat in it is fucking amazing. The story was lacking. They relied too much on setup for DLC and then canceled the DLC. So there's a lot of storylines that were just left hanging. Which is unfortunate. The one storyline I was most invested... The two storylines I was most invested in were supposed to be DLC. We actually had a conversation here a while back regarding Mass Effect 5 and the possibility that it could be a... I know they keep calling it 4 for some reason, but it's the 5th game, for God's sakes. And the possibility of Mass Effect 5 being a link between the Milky Way and Andromeda. And they could use it to fix a lot of the problems they had in Andromeda as well. Horizon Forbidden West. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, but I'm going to play that on PC, so that'll be a couple of years too. We were talking about something along the lines of the Mass Effect story in 5 revolving around them finding a... You know how in Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3 you have a gate that you have, or Mass Effect 1 and Mass Effect 2, there's a new gate you have to go through. In Mass Effect 1, it was the gate on Ilos, and in Mass Effect... Spoiler alert. And in Mass Effect 2, it was the Omega Relay. They could just introduce, like, they stumble upon another one out in dark space. And that relay... There's a whole bunch of setup you have to go through or whatever. And that relay links to Andromeda. So there's actually a single relay that will jump you clear from Milky Way to Andromeda. And then that would introduce all the races that didn't go to Andromeda originally. Plus, Andromeda takes place like 70 years after Mass Effect 2 or something like that. And this game, Mass Effect 5, could be set 70 years after Mass Effect 2 in the Milky Way. You find the gate, you hop over, boom, now we're there at the same time. Oh, it was 600? Okay, well, that's fine. You could do it 600 years. But you do it at the same time, so that now the end of Mass Effect 5 and the end of Mass Effect Andromeda are the same time. And then the next game, Mass Effect 6 or whatever, could just be a thing where, like, now you're in Andromeda, but you can also go back and forth to the Milky Way. And maybe the... what's the weird, like, stringy stuff in Andromeda that, like, destroys your ship when you touch it? I forget what that stuff's called. But maybe that stuff somehow uses the relay and gets over into the Milky Way. Now we have to figure out how to stop it. And that would require you going back and forth between Andromeda and Milky Way. How would that work with Ryder if you're a new character in ME5? Well, first off, ME5 would end with you going through the gate into Andromeda, and that would be the end of the game. So your character from ME5 would never interact with Ryder or anyone from Andromeda at all. That's ME6. So there'd have to be like this long build-up and setup in ME5 of actually like activating the gate, getting it working. Like maybe it's this inert gate that's not actually running, and we have to figure out how to activate it. But then you could also have, Elcor in Andromeda, you could have Hanar in Andromeda, you could have Thanes. Forgot what Thane is, what race Thane is. Drow, thank you. Everybody who's watching this on YouTube that's never played Mass Effect is really pissed off now because I've just spoiled like a whole bunch of stuff. Eh. If they're watching this on YouTube, they should have watched my Legendary Edition playthrough. You don't know 7 out of 8 of the stuff I just said? That's fair. Yeah, it is kind of vague. Yeah, my Legendary Edition playthrough is my canon playthrough. So if you only have time to watch one, watch that one. Because if they introduce Mass Effect 5 and they're like, you can import it from Legendary Edition, that's what I'm going to import. No. There's some stringy stuff in Andromeda that's like, it's in the systems and stuff and just kind of hanging out and doing things. It's just chilling. And nobody knows what it is, but it fucks you up when you touch it. So everybody just goes around it. At All Costs was the best and the hardest to watch. I loved it. I don't think I could ever do it again, but I'm glad I did it. Hey, you're Where's my rival? Oh, dang, son. Good shot. Did I mess up one thing in that playthrough? Oh, if I mess up one thing in the playthrough, does it affect the outcome? It depends on the thing you mess up. Like, I know for a fact... Spoiler alert for people that didn't watch it yet. At all costs is me getting as many people killed in the game as physically possible. I know for a fact I missed killing 3 people because of mistakes I made, and they were not crewmates. They were just random characters in the game. I failed to kill 3 random people that I could have killed. Two of which were in Mass Effect 1. And I think the other was in Mass Effect 3. And the 2 in Mass Effect 1 were really close to the beginning, too. I was really disappointed. I did not want to reload for that. I just said screw it. It wasn't that important. Yes, Scourge. Thank you, mouse. Speaking of which, I'm surprised you lived so long as a duct rat. Bane says hi. Yeah, I think the Scourge were intended to be the long con enemy of the Andromeda trilogy, I'm sure they had planned. And whoever the bad guys were in the first game were probably just like a setup for another race. I mean, they were another race, kind of. Whatever. Did we ever find out everything we could about the Remnants? Nope. That was another thing they left hanging. I think the Remnants are related to the Scourge. But there's no confirmation, there's no... You're just kind of left at the end of the game wondering what the deal is with that. I think the Remnant were probably going to be figured out in the second game, and the Scourge was probably going to be figured out in the third. We need another Andromeda. It would be nice. It would be unlikely. I think it would be more likely that 5 leads us to Andromeda, and then we have like a 5/Andromeda as kind of a way to get people to accept Andromeda as canon. Because there's a lot of people that played the original trilogy that just wrote off Andromeda and were like, it doesn't exist. So they need a way to connect Milky Way to Andromeda and force it to be canon so that the real players care about it more. They gave up too easily. Yeah, they had too many problems up front. And they were just like, ah, fuck it. They outsourced too much, and then they abandoned ship when it wasn't immediately a huge hit. They didn't make hundreds of millions of dollars on it overnight, and so their gut reaction was abandon ship. Not as immediately as popular as Mass Effect 3. Worthless. Get rid of it. If they had spent some time to do some, like, significant patching and corrections to animations and visual appearance, and then done a couple of DLCs, I think it would have been successful. It was still profitable. It just wasn't, it wasn't a smash hit. They didn't lose money on it. They just didn't make a lot. And I'm pretty confident that's why they did Legendary Edition, was to use it as a metric to see if the people who love the original trilogy and don't love Andromeda are still willing to spend money on Mass Effect. Or if they had given up on the series as a whole. That's terrible. I don't love Andromeda. I like Andromeda. It is a good. It is not a great. Wood. Let's go with the hybrid and see how far I can get it up there. I'll chip it if I have to, but we're gonna try to hop the hybrid up there. Like, me personally, I'd give Mass Effect 1... I'd give Mass Effect 1 like an 8 out of 10. I'd give Mass Effect 2 like a 9 out of 10. And Mass Effect 3 like a 9.5 out of 10. And then I would probably give Andromeda a 6.5. Like, it's good. It's not garbage. But it definitely didn't live up to the Mass Effect name, is the thing. That's just my opinion, though. And that's also my overall opinion of the game. There are certain aspects of Andromeda that I would give like a 9. 8, 9, 7, and then a 6 for Andromeda. I thought Mass Effect 3 was much better than that. Yeah, the combat would get a solid 9, 9.5 out of me. The combat in Mass Effect Andromeda was better than the other 3 titles. Period. The way it flowed and everything was amazing. Exceptionally good. Exploration was good. It was a little too big, I think. Because there would be times you would run around a planet for like 30 minutes trying to find what you were looking for. And it's like, okay, maybe that's a little too large. But I did like that they brought it back. I don't want it to go away. Maybe reduce the planet size by like 25%. Not even a lot. Keep the same amount of stuff in it, just put everything a little closer together. That's all. I never changed profile once. Didn't see the reason. That completely changes how Mass Effect works for me as a player. Because then it's like you want a biotic? Cool, here's a biotic. But now you can also be a sniper, a tech, and a soldier, and a sentinel, and everything else you want. You can be every single class in the game. And I'm like, no, I want to be one class. I want to struggle through certain parts and be forced to address combat in a different way than the game initially intended. Because I don't have biotic skills, or I don't have tech skills, or whatever. So I never used profiles. I found it, like, I'm sure some people loved it. I found it a complete waste, though, personally. Little too much banter. EA has this obsession with player banter, and I don't know what the hell it is. Video games have an obsession with character banter. Like, did you guys watch this Square Enix thing with Guardians of the Galaxy? Did y'all watch the Square Enix thing with the Guardians of the Galaxy in was that E3? Maybe it was E3. I can't remember. But like, the entire time, every single character in that game is constantly talking to every single other character in that game. And at no point was there any downtime in character banter. Walking around the world and exploring. You know, having a conversation about what you're doing next. Even in combat, they're constantly quipping with each other. And it was just like, oh my god. People do not talk to each other that much. Shut up. Oh, that was close, man. And there was... The problem is the banter that a lot of people put in always feels forced. It's not just a BioWare thing. A lot of game companies have this really bad problem of thinking that characters cannot stop talking for any moment. There has to be constant communication at all times. And it's like, some of the best games I've ever played have had like hours where the character says absolutely nothing. Like The Witcher. The Witcher trilogy was amazing. Geralt rarely talked. I think my biggest problem with Andromeda, I like the story. The overall story, where it was going and how it was set up, seemed to be really good. Yeah, Geralt and Roach had a really good thing. I like that. But, in Andromeda, I think the problem in Andromeda I had the most was the fact that I did not connect with Ryder, and I didn't connect with probably half of the crew members. They just did not have anything interesting going on for me. Ryder by far was the most boring character, which is sad because it's you. If your own character is the most boring character in the entire series, you got a serious problem.